Gathered together today in this beautiful place in the presence of God to witness and to bless the joining together of Pamela Gale Gatewood Boyd and Bernard Lyle Beck Jr. in marriage. The covenant of marriage was established by God who loves us. With his presence and power, Jesus graced a wedding at Cana of Galilee, and in whose sacrificial love gave us the example for the love of a husband and a wife. So Bernie and Pam come now to give themselves to one another in this holy covenant. So I ask you now, in the presence of God and all these people, dogs included, to declare your intention to enter into union with each other. So Pam, will you have Bernie to be your husband, to live together in holy marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live?
I will.
She said yes.
All right, Bernie.
Bernie, will you have Pam to be your wife, to live together in holy marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others? Be faithful to her as long as you both shall live.
Absolutely, I will.
Well, the marriage of Bernie and Pam unites their families and creates a new one, and they ask for your blessing. So I ask those who represent their families, do you rejoice in their union? Do you pray God's blessing upon them and promise to do everything in your power to uphold and care for them in their marriage?
We do.
Of course
we
we
do.
do.
And to all of those who are here, the friends and the other family, will all of you witnessing these vows by God's grace do everything in your power to uphold and to care for Bernie and Pam in their marriage?
We will.
At this time, Bernie and Pam have written their own vows, and they're going to share how God brought them together. So Pam, if you'll start.
First of all, I want to introduce Carol. Carol Frank, where are you? Come on up. Yes. No formalities here, right? Carol introduced Bernie and I 3 years ago this weekend. And so I want to give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Carol.
And Carol had the insight to know about Bernie, that Bernie was spiritual, he was passionate, he had a great business savvy, and I was writing a book at that time about how to manage multiple locations, and so Bernie was one of the people I interviewed for the book. And you know, we didn't hit it off right at first, but when I started hanging around Bernie and I realized that we had so much in common, we loved to do the same things, we had the same passion about life and about God and about integrity and about our vision for the future, making the most of our lives as we went through the rest of our lives together, and that made a huge difference for me. And what I love about Bernie is that, I mean, I just love the way he is, and I love his conscientiousness, I love his passion, and I love particularly this, his willingness to admit he's wrong. And
Hey, that's not supposed to be such common knowledge.
And I love it that he's willing to say sometimes I'm short-sighted, that I tell everyone that my favorite thing he said to me, it won me over. He had me when he said this, "Can we talk about what just happened?" yeah, women, you know. And so not only will he talk about, we've only had one disagreement the whole time since we've been together, and we've worked through all the things because he's willing to talk and take his ego out of it. And that's made a huge difference for me. I also love his genetics, that he can run for miles and miles and still be strong. And he doesn't complain about anything all day long, except about clouds maybe, or not being able to work out when he's at work and needs to be at the gym instead. But nobody's perfect, right? You know? And that's okay, because today it's important for me to say what I love about you and what's indelibly you and thoroughly and undeniably meant for me. And I promise, because of that, I promise to always delight in you every day. And I promise not to try to change you into something that I think you should be, but to accept you the way you are. And I promise to always hope in God and in truth and in love, and to stay positive about our lives as they change, because they will. And not only that, I promise that I will always sing each day like it's my last. And I will remember to respect you and your family and my family like it's my own life. until death.
Oh, Pam.
I mean it.
Pam is, first of all, if you don't know, Pam's a public speaker, so she does this really well, okay? There's a reason she goes to Australia 3 times a year to do this, but Pam is the most caring, kindest, most generous person I've ever had the privilege of knowing. And she's also the most humble person I've ever met in my life. And I've been around a lot of people. And she's an absolute angel of mercy that God has sent to me. And I cherish the time we have together. I cherish the changes she's made in my life and made me a better person. I think one of the neighbors said, "You finally broke the bronc," or something like that. I don't know what that meant. But Pam, I promise to forever provide for you, to inspire you to accomplish all the great things you're going to accomplish in your life. Love you unconditionally. Be deadly loyal to you and nobody else. Forever support you and be the strength when you need it. And make sure that I thank God for the angel He's put in my life. Till death do I part.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. Well, what do you bring as the sign of your promise?
All these people.
And some jewelry?
Some jewelry. Pam Boyd. With this ring. Ivy Wet.
Thank you. Bernie, where's your ring?
Uncle Pat came through.
Okay, well, this ring, I'm just thankful to say you are my husband.
Well, it is my great joy. You have declared your consent and your vows before God and all these people. May God confirm your covenant and fill you both with grace. And before God and in the presence of family and friends, Bernie and Pam have given themselves to each other by solemn vows, with the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of rings. And I announce to you that they are husband and wife in the name of God. Those whom God has joined together, let no one separate. And all the people said, Amen. Let us join in prayer as we bless their union. Do you want me to get that? Let us all just put up hands to show that we lift them up to God. Let us pray together. God, we just give you thanks for Bernie and Pam. We ask that you would grant that their love for each other may grow from strength to strength as they serve you in this world. Defend them from every enemy. Lead them into all peace. Let their love for each other be a seal upon their hearts, a mantle about their shoulders, a crown upon their heads. Bless them in their work and in their companionship, in their sleeping, and in their waking, in their joy and in their sorrow, in their life and in their death. Be with this new family. Help them to be gentle. Help them to be forgiving. Help them to be compassionate to each other. Enable them to make their home a place of welcome, a place of friendship, that their life may be a source of strength for others. And may we who have witnessed these vows together be signs of your love in this world. Amen.
Amen.
Pam and Bernie, may God the Eternal keep you in love with each other. May the peace of Christ just grow in your home and in your lives. May you go now to serve God and your neighbor in all that you do. You may kids.
And before you leave, I want to introduce these wonderful people standing up here with us. And so, Bernie, you want to go first?
Okay. Mr. Pat Gravine, also affectionately known as Uncle Pat, been my best friend since I was 15 years old, and we've been together now for 37 years, and stood by my side through a lot of things, and I appreciate him being here as my best man. Bernie Beck III, Trey, my first son, Brad Beck, my second son, and Hudson, who is Pam's oldest.
My first and only
Your
son.
first son. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
And the golf cart driver.
Yeah.
And over here, this is Sydney, my first daughter that was born accidentally. She's been a real blessing to us. I'm so thankful for for her. She's made a big difference for me in my life, always. And she's my creative one, and she's my... and she's my enthusiastic one that I can count on to say just the right funny thing at the right time. And then Pammy.
Gangster.
Gangster Pammy. Pammy is our Zoe Deschanel. She was a big blessing to us when she came, and she's been a total blessing. She's the altruistic one, and the one that's been at my side and my confidant. And Pammy is someone that I love to spend time with and I love to talk to. And then Susanna,
the star.
Susanna is the daughter of my sister who passed away 4 years ago, and so Susanna's my third daughter. And we've always been accused of being I've been her mother and she being my daughter because we're so much alike in a lot of ways. And Susanna has all this passion and creativity too that's been, and joy of life that's been a blessing for us. And who else? My brother Steve behind me that just came in from Colorado Springs. Don Matteo that just came in from Florida, a good friend of mine. We have so many neighbors here and so many people from every aspect of our lives, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. And now enjoy the
Party on! Weekend at Bernie's.
We gotta have the music.
Can we not talk until we
You can't talk until you get your mom's over. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
No, your mom. Here.
Okay. All smiling now. Oh, okay.
Look at me, Ben.
I was looking at the DJ.
He'll come around.
Yes.
Are we?
Okay.
No, don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Definitely take pictures of guys.
Okay, now they're right here. Right here. Regine. Yeah, that's it. One of the other. There you go. Okay, can you jump on all these girls?
I can.
Yeah.
Susanna!
Pammy!
Gangster! Over here! And Sarah! I forgot to see Sarah!
Oh,
Mike,
Let Sarah get in.
it's not too late.
Alright. Her and Jimbo.
Dad, what are you?
Farther. Alright, look at Okay, can everybody climb on the golf cart?
Yeah, okay, you guys can call. You don't have to stay.
We're backing away.
Oh, yeah, sure. We want to get one of Carol too. Okay, yeah.
Mike, go get a beer. Yes, I know you need a big shot of me full length like many other men today to finish off the video for you.
Can everybody else kind of grab on the side?
No, I know they get one.
The ride is much nicer from here.
Yeah.